I know, isn't that unfortunate? It was a close game, but what can you do? We waited 40 years for that. But anyways, first of all, thank you for coming out today. And I just want to start off with, obviously, the elephant in the room, and that's the deal with China. I think I've expressed the way I feel, that number one, true partnership is communicating with myself or other premiers if it affects their economy. And I feel it's just a terrible deal. It's a terrible deal for the auto workers that aren't in the Brampton plant, aren't in the Oshawa plant, the Ingersoll plant, and we need to build our auto sector here domestically in Ontario, not by foreign governments. They say it's 3%. It's actually, if you look at the EV sales, it's more like 33%. And we've seen this around the world. No matter if it's Germany having to close down 2 Volkswagen plants or Brazil, that they said it started at 3%, now it's 37%. I have concerns. That they're undercutting our hard-working auto workers and uniform members. They pay their people probably $6 an hour over at the auto plants in China with unfair labor practices, as we're upholding proper labor practices and making sure we build the cars with clean green steel. And I just want more communication, as anyone would. This isn't about pitting one province against the other. It's not pitting one sector versus the other. I'm happy as punch for my colleagues out west when it comes to canola oil, or our friends out in the east about the fisheries. God bless them. That's great. But don't use Ontario and the auto workers here as a pond. Everyone got something except Ontario. All we got is a massive threat of Chinese vehicles that are coming here that are going to hurt every single auto sector worker. And there's over 500,000 people within the sector that are going to be hurt over time. So we're going to focus on making sure that we produce great vehicles here. China will never, ever, and this will go on record, open up a manufacturing facility, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. To make an assembly plant profitable, you need 200,000 cars manufactured here, and that's 2 shifts going full out, producing a vehicle every minute and a half. And out of that 200,000, they're going to ship 80 to 90% of the cars down to the U.S. And I don't believe that President Trump will accept any vehicles from China being manufactured here. So to say that we're going to bring assembly here from China is just not accurate whatsoever. We have to focus on getting rid of the EV mandate. That's a killer for the sector, and not just keep pushing it down the road, because when they plan investment, they plan 4 or 5 years out where they're going to invest. I'm going to continue working collaboratively with the Prime Minister and all the other premiers. When we get together up in Ottawa, we'll have an honest discussion and find out what we're going to do as a country, as a province, to make sure that our manufacturing, especially in the auto sector, stays strong right across the board. So that's my, that's what I'm saying about the EV sector. I've had an opportunity to speak to the auto sector themselves. They're not happy, to say the least. And we're going to continue working alongside our partners in the auto sectors and especially Unifor. So we're gonna come out of this all right.
Have you spoken with the Prime Minister about this?
No,
So
he has not texted me.
Is there a plan to speak with him? I mean, you have worked closely with him on other initiatives.
Yeah, I look forward to speaking to him. I think he knows how I feel. It's all about communication. It's all about partnership, and we have to move at a much quicker speed. I think they went out of the gate going really well, and then it kind of slowed down now. So let's get back at making sure that we have approvals for our critical minerals, our manufacturing sectors, reducing the burden of taxation, making ourselves the most competitive jurisdiction in the entire world to attract companies from all over the world. We attracted over $28 billion of investment, creating 56,000 jobs last year alone. But it's a competitive market, and we have to cut the red tape and the regulations. Our strengths are many. no matter if it's the manufacturing sector, life science sector, banking sector. Obviously, when I say manufacturing, it goes right across the board, including the auto sector. So we have to make sure we create that environment and conditions for companies to continue.
Premier, what evidence do you have that these Chinese EVs would spy on Ontarians or listen to their phone calls? What are you basing that on?
Well, it's very simple. When the Prime Minister and his team are over there, they use burner phones. You're making a deal with a country with burner phones, and Prime Minister did mention when he got elected that the #1 country for national security threat is China. And we know when you hook up your phone, they're going to be listening. Simple as that. And anyone who doesn't believe that is very, very naive. So we're going to.
But by that logic, are you concerned about the Chinese-made phone in your pockets, or your iPhone is made in China? Are you concerned with that?
I'm concerned about cybersecurity and the threat of China. That's what I'm concerned about. So we're going to always make sure that we think twice before we have countries come in here and we get nothing back. We get absolutely, Ontarians get nothing back but a threat of jobs in the auto sector.
To be clear, it was not the Prime Minister himself didn't speak to you about this deal. Who was it that gave you a few hours notice?
Minister LeBlanc.
Are you surprised that it wasn't the Prime Minister himself who gave you a
Yeah, I wouldn't say not surprised. I'm disappointed because we had such a great relationship, and I look forward to continuing a great relationship. But it's all about communication and collaboration and partnership. They keep preaching it. Well, at least I know where I stand now.
Isn't this deal
Sorry,
good
Paul.
for consumers, though? I mean, car prices are exorbitant right now.
At what cost? Auto workers' jobs? No, I don't think it's a good deal. So I think that we should focus and support our auto workers here.
Premier, on Monday, though, you had said that you were going to text the Prime Minister to hopefully set up a phone call. So since Monday to when that announcement was made, you heard nothing back from him?
No, I didn't. No, I actually didn't bother texting. I've been in communication with his minister, Jolie, along with Minister LeBlanc. And the Prime Minister knows my number. And I thought we had a good enough relationship that he'd give me a quick text or a little bit of communication. That never happened. That's fine. Like I said, I know where I stand with him.
Was there a reason for you to not be in the trip to China with the Prime Minister and Premier Scott Moe as well?
No, I never got an invite, but that's all right. I'm very close allies with Premier Moe, and he's doing what he has to do, like every other premier. Protect your sectors in your province, and he's always a good ally, a good friend, and I'll help him any way we can.
But do you
think that we
regret
got
not
nothing
being?
or not enough in return? I mean, Canada says Canada will accept 49,000 vehicles, and Canada expects that China will reduce the tariffs. They haven't really committed to it. There's no movement on the pork, as Bob Canoe said.
That's right.
There's lobsters and crabs, but not fish. So did the Prime Minister give up an awful lot without getting enough in return?
Well, I believe he did. He's hurting Ontario, and that's what I'm focused on. The premiers across the country, they're going to have to comment on their sector, but I'm focused on Ontario right now.
Do you regret not being there in China, though? Critics say that you should have pushed your way in and been at the table.
Well, when you see the plane take off on the news and away you go, I'm not running down the runway to hold on to the wheels, I'll tell you that. So if he wanted me there, he'd ask me there.
Do you think the outcome of this trip would have been different if you were there? You would have stopped this deal?
Well, I just want communication, not just myself, but the people in the auto sector. I think they went in there, they were misinformed about the auto sector, and now I think they're playing catch up. So we'll get through this, and I'm going to be focused on making sure that the federal government supports our auto sector and the auto workers. Nothing means more to me than the frontline auto workers.
Premier, we could have a federal election this year. Are you going to make sure this issue is on the front burner so that it might cost Mr. Carney's party seats in Ontario, given how important this issue is to your province?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to get involved in the federal election if it comes along. Will be an issue 100%, everything. And I don't give two hoots if you're from the green, orange, red, blue party. Who's going to support Ontario? Who's going to support the workers in Ontario? That's what I'm going to be focused on.
Premier, in the summer, at the end of the Council of the Federation, you had specifically said that the enemy of our enemy is our friend, and right now Donald Trump, in your words, was acting like the enemy. And you know, the joint communique at the end of COP had specifically called on the Prime Minister to work with China more. How have you gone from, you know, China not being the enemy to now China being the enemy once again?
Well, I think China is always a threat, right from day one. If you're asking me, would I rather make a deal with our closest friends and allies, our number one customer, and we're their number one customer? I'll take our great friends south of the border all day long, twice on Sundays. But in saying that, we're gonna have a challenging USMCA or CUSMA, whatever you want to call it, discussions as we come up to renewing the agreement. And we have to put our best foot forward. We have to put our strengths. We have to diversify our trade around the world and make sure we have fair trade. And that's what we're focused
What do
on.
you say to people who might look at you and say, your position is constantly shifting? We've gone from Mexico's the problem, to China's the problem, to Trump's the problem, now China's the problem again. What do you say to people who say that you can't figure out a set position and the Prime Minister's just got to figure out what's best for the country?
Well, I talk on sheer facts. When you have parts coming in from China again into Mexico, slapping a Made in Mexico sticker on, and then costing American and Canadian auto jobs, I have to call them out. Maybe I'm the only one with a backbone to tell the truth. China is always a threat, and anyone who doesn't think they're a threat, you got to think twice, because they are for our national security, especially. So, you know, I'm just telling you the facts. And as for the U.S., President Trump is going to do what President Trump does. And he may change his mind back and forth. But we have to make sure that we create the environment and the conditions for companies around the world to invest here in Ontario. And that's what we're doing, and we're asking for the federal government support, no matter if it's building out our military, building ships. I'd love them to be built in Hamilton at the Ontario shipyards. They're a great company. Buy Canadian steel, by Canadian workers, and more specifically, Ontario steel and Ontario workers and Ontario technology. That's what I'd like to see.
Hold
on, I'm sorry.
said, at least I know where I stand. What do you mean by that? Do you think that the Prime Minister's kind of pushed you off to the side now and is not taking into account your views?
Well, when someone doesn't communicate and preaches partnerships and then goes out and makes a deal that isn't good for Ontario, you know where you stand. So hopefully we can continue working together and communicating a lot better than what happened when he went over to China. And we'll work together. I'll work with anyone.
Premier, the last
Does this China deal make it more difficult to keep the auto jobs that exist from the big three in Ontario? It's going to make it more difficult negotiating with the Americans?
I believe it's going to make it a lot more difficult bringing in Chinese vehicles that are built over in China, and they're going to cost the workers in the auto sector jobs and reciprocal jobs as well. The supply chain and everyone that is employed there that goes out shopping and buys their kids, maybe jeans or put an addition on their house. Now there's going to be uncertainty. There's going to be uncertainty in the sector, and all you have to do is talk to anyone within the supply chain or the OEMs, and they'll tell you this is not a good move. We got nothing out of it. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to sit down when we go to Ottawa and have a chat with them.
Premier, the glass bottles used for Crown Royal are produced, as it turns out, at a facility in Brampton. Are you concerned that your boycott will further hurt Ontario jobs and Ontario workers, sir?
No, not at all. If Crown Royal wants to come and put a proposal on the table that they're going to replace those jobs with other areas like bottles, like packaging, like other areas, and replace the jobs that they took out of Ontario, by all means. I'm flexible, but my number one job is to protect the workers here in Ontario, protect their communities, protect the people of Ontario. And I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we protect them. But folks, thank you. And any other questions?
Last one.
Sure.
There are 5
Sean.
school boards that the province has taken over and have put in place the student and family support centers now to try to get this feedback from parents and students to the school boards. Is the province not duplicating this work needlessly? I mean, trustees were already in place doing this work before the takeover of the school boards.
Well, we've had a challenge on a few school boards. I don't like painting a broad brush against every single school boards because some of them are working well and some are absolute disaster. So Minister Klander is doing a great job. He's going in there, he's auditing the books, holding people accountable, making sure that we get our kids to focus on what matters. And, you know, as easy as financial literacy, making sure that they learn that, making sure they understand when it comes to the science, technology, engineering, and math side of things, jobs of the future. That's what we want them to focus on. And I believe that Minister Klander has done a phenomenal job. And if we can have great school trustees working well and not heading over to Italy to buy $100,000 worth of artwork and coming back, or going down to the Blue Jays game for 20 grand to watch a Blue Jays game, we don't want to see the reckless spending. Sorry, Jamie, last question.
Oh, can I actually, sorry, Premier, just quickly on.
But you've had 3 questions. Jamie's had none.
Last
Go
one.
ahead.
There's some doctors just speaking out about Ontario hospitals not being able to handle the surge that FIFA will bring. Are you going to give hospitals any additional resources for when FIFA is happening here?
Well, we've invested more into our healthcare system than anyone, over $93 billion. We've registered over 16,000 doctors, 100,000 nurses. We're building $60 billion, 50 sites around the province. We're building new medical schools. So we're doing everything we can to enhance the healthcare system. You talk to our finance minister, every time I see him, first words out of his mouth, do you know how much we're spending on healthcare? And I say, well, we're investing in healthcare, but it's good to have Minister Bethenpal be always watching the bottom line. And he's doing his job, and we're going to continue driving efficiencies, primary care, $2.1 billion. I appreciate Dr. Jane Philpott, the job she's doing. Obviously, my champion is Sylvia Jones. So we're going to continue making sure that we deliver great health care at convenient locations for the people of Ontario. Yes, Jamie, sorry.
Durham Regional Police had an officer injured this weekend, a person with a knife that was struggling with emotions. First, what are your thoughts? This is common. What can you do to stop?
Well, my prayers and thoughts go out to the officer. I want to thank everyone at Sunnybrook as well, the greatest hospital in the world. And I had an opportunity to talk to the Durham Chief Police, and he's a champion as well. And we just pray for their recovery as quickly as possible. We pray for his family, and that's the job that these police officers do. They get in their uniforms, they kiss their spouses goodbye, and they go in to keep our community safer. And he's an absolute hero. And you go to a knife call, and all of a sudden you get shot. So we always will be there to support our police any way we can. And again, we're praying for the police officer and their family. But thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you.